How's it going, everyone? Blake O'Rulian here, excited for another Friday episode of The Scoreboard, which is full of coverage from start to finish of the 2022 GoPro Mountain Games. Now, we don't want to waste any more time. We're going to get right into the action. And up first, Maddie Evans, host of Good Morning Vail, had a chance to catch up with Valentin Gutierrez, a kayaker from Argentina. Valentin came in second in the Gore 4 Kayak Challenge, coming in just behind Dane Jackson. Here's what he had to say.
We're back here at the GoPro Mountain Games, and the kayaking events are popping off behind us. Now we've got an international kayaker joining me right now, Valentin Gutierrez. Valentin, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me.
No, thank you to you. It's a pleasure. I love the GoPro Mountain Games. The environment here, it's amazing, and yeah, stoked to be here.
We're stoked to have you here, and you've traveled quite the distance to be here.
Yeah, I took some planes for sure. It's been quite a journey, but yeah, it's always a pleasure for me to come here. The people, the rivers, I love it. I just love it.
And is it hard to travel with all of that very big equipment, or do you ship it?
Oh, it's so hard. It's insanely hard. Luckily, I have the support of Jackson Kayak, that they gave me the kayaks here in the U.S. Also from Kokatag, they also are a brand from here, from the US, and they provide me the gear. But whenever I have to travel overseas, it's a really, it's like a big ordeal to put all your stuff, like your kayak. Sometimes you travel alone, sometimes airplanes don't take your kayak, so yeah.
It's a lot of stuff that you got to travel with, and then of course, not only the kayak, but then the wetsuit and all the gear that you need, your paddles. It's a lot of gear to be traveling with.
Oh yeah, people look at me in the airport. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, why are you taking this baggage? Like,
they're like, you're crazy. That's
yeah.
a lot of luggage to be traveling with.
Yeah, people say like, I thought I have a big luggage. And then I look at you and I'm like, okay, you know?
It's not that bad. It's pretty
yeah.
mellow. And so competing both internationally and now competing right here in our backyard at the GoPro Mountain Games, how do you feel?
I really like it here. Last year I came here last year as well. And unfortunately the waters there were not, due to the water levels, was not possible to do the Homestay Creek race. And this year the snow, like the meltdown of the snow helped us. So yeah, I was very stoked to have the chance to race in that course. It was very technical. It was hard. The competition was very high, at a high level. But yeah, I'm very happy with the outcome of the two races I've raced so far. So yeah.
I mean, the race at Steep Creek was so intense, and the water levels, because they're so high, it makes those rapids so much bigger and so much scarier. And the competition, you're right, was fierce out there. They were athletes going absolutely insane. There were people disqualifying in that race, is not even finishing the race fully, just because that water was not a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, no. Also, the altitude, it's something to consider here. You are about 2,000 meters. And when you are out there giving all you have, it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of sketchy or dangerous, because you can't breathe and you can't flip, you know, like you can miss your line. But yeah, I think it's a good challenge for us to race here.
And so what is your favorite part about coming to Vail? Obviously you're competing in the GoPro Mountain Games, which is a big part of it, but when you come to Vail, is there anything that you just look forward to doing?
Yeah, I look forward, like I have many friends here. As I say, the people from Colorado are very charming, and I just love it, like the environment, the love for the outdoors that the love for the outdoors that there is here, it's amazing. You talk with someone and they are bad climbers, rock climbers, like whatever they do, they are really good. And I just love to be in the mountains, and this is like paradise for me.
It is paradise. So would you rather compete here or would you rather compete in Argentina? Tough question.
Yeah. I mean, every place has its own unique thing that makes it so special. I would say here, like this place has like a very special place in my heart for sure. Yeah.
And then you've got the next generation of kayakers
these
right
guys.
here. Let's bring them on. And so these are your cousins?
These are my cousins, and these guys rock in mountain bike. They're gonna be bad. Yeah.
Well, Valentin, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. Good luck in any competitions that you have coming up. We can't wait to see how your season progresses. And if people want to follow you on social media, how can they do so?
Thank you so much. So my Instagram account is DVALE lowercase GUTIERREZC, o sea, Vale Gutierrez.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and good luck in your upcoming competitions. Make sure that you stop by the GoPro Mountain Games, or you have a chance to follow him on social media. That way you can see all the adventures that Valentin and his adorable next generation cousins are up to. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we've got more Good Morning Vail.
Welcome back into the scoreboard. I'm your host, Blake O'Rulian. We are recapping some of our favorite moments from this past weekend's GoPro Mountain Games. And next, we turn our attention to climbing, a unique event at the Mountain Games because the walls are rearranged for every single contest and gender group in order to further challenge the athletes. Maddie had a chance to catch up with one of the competitors. Let's hear what he had to say about the competition.
We've been making our way around the GoPro Mountain Games, and now we've made our way to the climbing wall. And I'm standing here with an athlete who used to work in media for climbing, Albert. Okay, Albert, thank you so much for meeting me this morning.
Thanks for having me and interviewing me. I'm really excited for all the boulders. It's going to be an amazing time. I think the temperature's kind of rolling up, so a lot of the people in the second session are worried that it'll be a little sweaty, but I think it's going to be a blast.
And so you've been climbing for about 4 years now, and these aren't your main disciplines that you're competing in today.
I guess I've been climbing a little longer than that, but I've been competing on the national level for about 4 years, 3.5, 4. Speed climbing is my main discipline, and ever since it got introduced to the Olympics for 2024 Paris as a separate independent sport, I've dropped all my stuff in Houston and went out to Salt Lake City to train with the best.
Oh man, Salt Lake City is a great place. I am actually a Utah kid, but
Oh,
we'll talk about that later. So how do you feel about the competition right now, besides the temperatures rising and the possibility of sweaty hands?
I think the setters, the people who are creating the boulders for us and the problems that we'll be competing on, had a really great day because they set some very difficult problems because a lot of people aren't topping that many, so it's going to be a rough round, and I think we're just going to have to grit through, bleed a little, lose some skin, and try our best.
I mean, that's all you can do. And so as someone who climbs competitively pretty frequently, how do you stay in shape and how do you train, and what's the mental game like?
Mental game is my favorite because you just watch your favorite videos, you listen to some great songs, you be really positive, help others, be positive with others, try your best. But then the physical part is what's hard for me, and I think others not so much. I train about 4 to 5 times a week, sometimes double sessions morning and afternoon, bleeding from every fingertips, and that's kind of it. I think everyone else is on the same plan. They're doing as much difficult moves as possible and training as hard as they can.
And competing here at the GoPro Mountain Games, how are you feeling about the competition, and how are you feeling just being up here at such a high elevation in Vail?
So I did buy a canned oxygen. I don't know if it's a sham or not, but let's see if it helps. It's been helping me a little bit. So that's been hopefully remedying my elevation, and the competition is ridiculous. Look at everyone out here. Everyone is so strong. I think everyone here can do a one-arm pull-up except for me. And so there's professional athletes, some even Olympians are here. It is probably the highest level that we can get in North America currently. I think there's Canadian athletes as well. So it's going to be incredible.
It's incredible because there's only 5 stops on the North American Cup Tour. And so being in Vail, being at one of the stops, how are you feeling just knowing that you're in one of the 5?
Oh, every time I think I'm going to be prepared, and then I go in and I'm not. But then I just try my best, and sometimes I surprise myself, and oftentimes it's been in my favor. I think because this is such a coveted location, everyone loves Vail. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. So we had, I think, the most signups in history for this event on the male side, and I think on the female side as well. So everyone is putting their 1,000% effort. And I guess I have a question for you. Are you going to hop on the boulders after?
Oh no, I have a bad shoulder.
Oh.
I just I just did a quarter zone shot 2 weeks ago in there. We're just gonna lay low with that guy for a minute. But I'm excited to watch the competition and really see the endurance and the strength, because some of those problems you do get up there and you just have to hang on while you kind of reroute in your brain.
Yeah, the problem-solving aspect is beautiful. Some of these people are like engineers, doctors, they're like high-thinking professionals, and they're solving these problems that look physical and you just pull, but it's so much more complex than that. I think the semifinal and final rounds is going to be absolutely ridiculous, because they're going to show some flashy moves, some really creative problem solving, and you're going to see these athletes get really tested.
Well, Albert, we're excited to see you compete, and thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maddie. I've been very, very excited for being in Vail. This is my first time actually competing at the location, so I get to touch the wall, touch the holds, and have time of my life.
Albert, we're excited to see you compete, and good luck out there. Make sure that you follow him on social media. If people want to see what you're doing and where you're at, how can they do so?
I have an Instagram channel handle at Professor OK, and my YouTube channel Albert Space OK. It's just my name. I actually did a lot of analysis content at Vail for when I was working in publication, so I'm excited. I'm very, very happy.
Make sure you follow him on social media. He's going to be out on this wall before we know it. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we've got more of the show.
Welcome back to the Scoreboard. We have met some amazing competitors at the 2022 GoPro Mountain Games this week, but none as adorable as these. These four-legged competitors and their owners took on the Doc Dog Challenge. Maddie Evans gives us a look at the competition and catches up with one of the competitors.
All right, ready.
We're here at the 2022 GoPro Mountain Games right now, and we're at the Doc Dogs Big Air Competition. This is one of those events that people love to come and enjoy, and especially as the crowd turnout for it is so nice. You can hear the crowd behind me throwing the excitement for the dogs that are jumping into the water. They're absolutely insane athletes. Now let's take a look at some of these dogs. We're here at the best event at the GoPro Mountain Games, the Doc Dogs, and we're lucky enough to talk to some new competitors. We've got Michael and Mr. Darcy here, and this is your first time competing in the Doc Dogs together.
It's our first opportunity. Obviously, someone's very excited. We've had some preliminary jumps, which have led to him with a little pre-game anxiety in this first jump, and then since then we're off to a good start. So we're in the next round and excited to see what he can do.
We're excited to see what you guys can do as well, and you were kind of giving us the backstory. He's used to jumping off docks into lakes, and so jumping off a dock into a pool is a whole new kind of transition for him.
Yeah, the opportunity first training jump this morning, he decided to jump off of the dock back onto the ground, about 6 feet down to the ground, due to the fact he's never jumped into a pool. So it was a bit of a training process for him, and there's so many well-trained dogs here that have been doing it for years, and this is his first run. And I was joking with my wife, I said 5 years of him living his dream. It's an opportunity for him to come out and play and, you know, enjoy the festivities.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and good luck in the competition, Mr. Darcy. I think you're going to do so good in your Doc Dog competition. Yeah. Well, get out there, have a great time, and we can't wait to see what you guys do today.
Thank you very much. Have a good day, you guys.
Doc Dogs is one of the best events that takes place at the GoPro Mountain Games, and you can see we've got all sorts of puppies here. Timid puppies, puppies that are launching. This little guy is my favorite as he walks himself to the little ramp and then jumps in after the ball. Now we've got dogs that are scared to get in but so excited for the water that just flop right in there and start swimming towards their toy. Then we've got other dogs that are such incredible athletes. That guy almost clears the entire pool as he makes the launch for his toy, and we got to watch him the entire time. He was so good. You can see some of them are just so well trained and ready for what's to come. Some of them launch high, some of them launch long. It's really just a fun event to see and to be part of. You can also see that the spectators there are always so excited. This little guy in his goggles and his GoPro, scared to get in. The crowd started cheering, and then he finally jumped in after his toy. But look at those dog goggles on him with his GoPro mounted to him. It's such a fun event to get out there and enjoy. And like I said, there are some dogs that are just such
incredible athletes that you cannot miss this event. So mark your calendars. If you did not make it out there this year, make sure you mark it out there next year, because it's going to be so much fun to go see these Dock Dogs as they're always going. That's going to be a look at your 2022 Dock Dog competition. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show.
Trout. I'm over here on Gore Creek. It's nice to see it. The Manor Vail is right there. Betty Fordell Park and Gardens off to my river left. It's beautiful out here, y'all. Fishing is starting to really turn around. Our river levels are starting to drop dramatically. We saw peaks on both of our watersheds right in town, Gore Creek, and then also on the Avon on the Eagle River about 4 or 5 days ago, right at the wrap up of the GoPro Mountain Games on Sunday. And now they're getting down to a more of a manageable level. So when the water levels drop, the water temperatures warm up a little bit, and then that's when all the bugs that live in the bottom of the rocks that the fish feed on start to wake up and they start to hatch. So pretty soon we're going to see bugs, not necessarily today, but soon, moving into the next week or two, bugs in the sky everywhere. And they're not flies that bite you, they're flies that just fly around, and the fish love to eat them. Caddisflies, mayflies, and stoneflies. Right here on Gore Creek, I'll talk about the flows real quick. We'll show you the graph of our river as we make our way. Gore Creek meets up with the Eagle River down in Dow Junction, about 10 miles to the west. The Gore Creek is flowing at about a little under 400 cubic feet per second. Remember, a cubic foot is about the size of a basketball. We saw this piece of water not too long ago, definitely higher during the GoPro Mountain Games. They wanted those big river levels for the kayaking and the rafting events, and they got them. Now, as we look at the graph for Eagle River, this is right below Avon at the wastewater treatment plant, not far from the TV8 studios. Flows there now dramatically dropped too. As you can see, we're right around 1,200 cubic feet per second. We saw that river, if you look at that graph 4 or 5 days ago, it peaked out at pretty close to 2,000 cubic feet per second. So rivers are getting real fishable. Give us a call at Minturn Anglers if you want to go on a guided fishing trip, or you need some advice, or you want to pick out some flies. Swing in and say hi to everybody. They do a great job.
That's all the time we have for today's episode of The Scoreboard. Thank you to all of our guests for joining us today. We will be back here on Tuesday for more local sports coverage. For Maddie Evans, I am Blake O'Rourke, and we will see you next time.